How can live data be added to Matterport digital twins for facilities management? How can IoT from various open standards be centralized and synchronized? For building automation control, why are Matterport digital twins better than traditional 2D dashboards? Stay tuned. Hi all, I'm Dan Smigrod, founder of the We Get Around Network Forum. Today is Thursday, May 16th, 2024. You're watching WGAN-TV live at 5, a podcast for digital twin creators shaping the future of real estate today. We have an awesome show for you. Simon by SIMLAB plus NetxAutomation software, a next level of building management system interoperability. Our subject matter experts are SIMLAB Simon product owner and product manager, Michał, Szopa, and NetxAutomation software sales and business development in the Asia Pacific region, Suvankar Das. Michael and Suvankar, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Dan, for inviting us. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well. And hello for everybody.
We also have a special guest. Jay, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Dan. Hello, Michael and Suvankar. I'm Jay. Thank you for taking this Zoom meeting. I was just hired as Executive Vice President at ABC Global Company, where I oversee facilities management and hotel and rental property management worldwide. For context for our Zoom call today, ABC Global owns, occupies, and leases space in 100 office buildings across 25 locations in the US, Europe, and Asia, totaling about 2 million square feet. Our property management division also manages 10 hotels, and we have a vacation rental division with 1,000 rental properties worldwide. We are using various building management systems. That said, I have learned that some facility managers are still using China markers inside HVAC cabinets to mark the last service visit. We have thousands of square feet filled with file cabinets of MEP manuals. We seek to consolidate to one BMS. My team sourced Matterport Pro 3 service providers via the We Get Around network, who scan some of our buildings in the US. So I'm familiar with Matterport digital twins. However, we are using Matter tags for tracking assets, which is too hard to scale. It's not ideal for maintenance inspections, communications, and document storage. All the Matterport service providers mentioned, they read about Simon, powered by SIMLAB, and NetxAutomation software on the We Get Around Network forum, as well as saw some information on WGAN-TV podcast shows about SIMLAB and NetxAutomation. They thought your solutions might be helpful for ABC Global. My focus across divisions is on 3 things: saving money, saving time, and improving workflows to get answers faster. I have asked our Matterport service providers and some of my facilities managers and hotel and rental property executives to join us on this Zoom call today in listen-only mode. Many have dialed in by phone worldwide without video, so no PowerPoint slides, please. We can review your slide deck and visit the Simon and NetxAutomation software websites later. Let's have a conversation. A short demo is fine too. Michael, to get started, could you tell me about SIMLAB in general and Simon powered by SIMLAB in particular?
First of all, hello, Jay, and thank you very much for this meeting. Your portfolio sounds very impressive and huge of the facility management and the area is very nice. And I think that your main goal is the saving money, saving time. It's definitely this thing we want to share with you with our solutions. And according to our company, the SIMLAB is yesterday, that was our fifth birthday of the company. We are based in Poland, in the Silesian region, is on the southern Poland. And we are mainly focused and concentrated into the IT solution, the software solution based on the Matterport. It's very good that you have also the Matterport knowledge and you know what is the scans and how the technology behind that, how it's working. But we want to create something new for the building automation and for the facility management to not only using the normal 2D dashboard as everybody have. We want to give another dimension of the experience for the customer and for the user, that will have the Matterport used also for the daily basis, managing and maintaining the property.
While our focus today is Simon by SIMLAB, help me understand a bit more about SIMLAB. Are there any other solutions that SIMLAB offers?
Yes, we have another solution, because our main focus is for the two solutions. One of those is the stages solution, is the solution which is also using the Matterport scan, but not only, also the Revit models, the CAD files, the blueprints, and we can compare the two, for example, different ways of the scanning or the planning of the building, and also making the time frame between the different stages of the building. For example, if you will want to make some new building, you can scan it on the some first level, for example, only with the some naked walls, without any wiring, without the finishing. After that, with some wires, with some plumbing, with some another stuff, and then after it's everything finished. And we can compare these two and see it, how it looks like now and how that looks like during the building.
Michael, thank you for sharing that. Dan texted me a note that WGAN-TV podcast has done many shows on SIMLAB, including stages. I will watch those at wgan.info/SIMLAB on WGAN. Thanks, Dan. You're the best. Michael, before we jump into a demo of Simon, Suvankar, could you provide us with a top-line overview of NetxAutomation software?
Sure, Jay. It will be great to talk a few things about our company. Of course, thank you very much for this opportunity to meet you personally, and also to explore how we can revolutionize all these huge buildings that your company owns. And I think we are at the right place at the right time. Together with Michael, with SIMLAB, we can totally redefine how all these buildings can be managed, not only in today, but many years to come. And I think that would have direct impact on your organization in terms of organizational efficiency. We are talking about improving bottom line. We are talking about energy saving, and of course, keeping in mind the users at the very center, because end of the day, though we are talking about a lot of techie things over here, the final objective is to provide a solution which everyone can use and manage based on their level of knowledge. So I think that is the final goal we want to achieve with you end of this meeting. And a little bit about our company, NetxAutomation Software. We are a software company based in Austria. So our specialization is in managing building automation functionalities. So, for all the audience and participants here, today's buildings are having heterogeneous architecture. So you have multiple functions: lighting, HVAC, shading, fire, safety, security, everything. And they all come with their own intelligence and own way of communicating. So as NetX, we try to solve this complexity of dealing with hundreds and thousands of hardware and services within a building, and kind of merge them together and bring it to a more holistic approach, where a building owner can interact with all those systems from a single interface. And along with SIMLAB, we are taking that experience to a totally new level, where we are talking about digital twin solution, which I'm sure Michael will talk of. And you will see that this collaboration we have globally with them is very, very symbiotic, highly complementary, non-competing, and adds a lot of value to our end users and customers.
Well, Suvankar, as you listed all those different services that NetxAutomation offers, I could identify the problems that ABC Global has, which you can help us solve. However, forgive me, but I have never heard of NetxAutomation software. Can you give me some sense of the scale and scope of NetxAutomation?
We are we develop this software ourselves, and we sell it in more than 100 countries globally. So we are operational in the market for last 22 years, and we have more than 8,000 licenses sold globally. The way it happens in the entire value chain is that we work with a set of customers who are called the system integrators. Okay, so the system integrators are the people who are actually working at site. Their responsibility is to really merge hardware, software, application, everything under one umbrella, act as one point of contact for the end users, and develop this final requirement of the customers for the buildings they're working on. So while doing so, we also come across having a lot of discussion with end users like yours, plus also the specifiers and consultants who are designing the building. So we also have to give a lot of inputs to these stakeholders, because sometimes they may not be aware of all the possibilities that such solution can bring in a project. So we also work very closely with specifiers and the consultants who are designing the entire automation and electrification of such buildings.
Thank you, Suvankar. As you can imagine, ABC Global collaborates with many system integrators, consultants, and various vendors to handle implementations for our company. Help me understand how Matterport, Simon powered by SIMLAB, and NetxAutomation software can save us time, save us money, and improve our workflows. If we can address these points, we'll then determine the best way to proceed, whether that involves working with a system integrator or directly with you.
Absolutely, yes. I think in the coming minutes, we are going to talk about the key benefits for the end users. And then we take a step back and see that, okay, to realize those key benefits, what is the model we have to get engaged in? For example, how we as the provider of the solution make sure that the solution is implemented in the correct proportion based on your specification and requirement of the building. And for that, yes, we have to do a very good, well-coordinated project management work along with the system integrators, of course, but also your inputs are very, very important to kind of arrive at the final specification we have to deliver. Yeah, so looking forward to that discussion as well.
Here is some alarm. It's good to know because our solution is working. This is solution that, as you see on the background, we have the Matterport tour. But if there we have the warning alarm, we can very easily, first of all, see where the alarm is. Okay, it's here. I will put it later on during the presentation, the proper ticket to the person responsible for the alarm. But what we have here, we have our solution with a couple of layers. On the background is the Matterport tour, as you see it. But in the Matterport tour, we have some other things, like here we have some IoT devices. We have some water leak alarms. We have some sockets that we can, from here, turning on and off. We have some another things like the CO2 sensors, some motion sensors, all of those information and IoT or some other devices that we can collect the data and steering, we can put into the space, into the real location in digital twin model. This is very important and time saving. For example, if you want to know where, for example, is the motion sensor, this one, because this is not working, for example, you can only very easily one click and the camera is going directly to this motion sensor into the 3D space. We have, accordingly of the tour and putting the every elements into the space, also some data from the university in Japan that saving up to 55% of the time using the normal paperwork on some Excel sheets, Excel files, or using the digital twin technology. But not that is not all, because this is only one of the layer. It's the IoT devices, and here we have connected it through the NetxAutomation system. That means that the NetxAutomation system is working into that facility, and we are collecting and taking the data from the Netx and also sending to the Netx through the cloud. That means that everything in our solution can be accessible from the web browser without installation any special software, only the web browser, and you can go inside and use it, our software, with connection with the Netx. What we have else? The second thing we have, there is the asset management system. That means that we can store all the information about the assets into the one place. We have here, for example, some manometer with their description, with some photographs, documentation, and some also events. The events means some functionality of the facility management system. We can put here the dates or the terms that is very important for the asset, and all the information about the terms that need to be making some maintenance, certification, or something like that. We have into the one place, and we very easily going into our solution can check that, okay, we have to do something for 16th of May, 19th of May, and so on, so on, so on. And also with one click, we can go to the place where it is exactly into the space. The another thing we have, this is the ticketing system. That means that we can share and collect the information about some issues and have the communication between the user and, for example, the facility manager. For example, here we have the alarm, and this alarm is appearing that some water leak from this tank. I can easily get the information, adding the ticket, for example, water leak, add the status, it's open, setting the date because this is very urgent, it needs to be fixed today, but we have in Poland today, it's tomorrow in the US time. And also the stakeholders, which means the people who is responsible for fixing the problem. I can here put the description, add the location very quickly and easily, and send it automatically into the person who need to go and fix the problem. This is very, very good option because the maintenance guy, for example, the facility manager, is now receiving the email information about the problem. He have this problem here, but we have many water tanks here into the space, and taking the time to check every tank where is the leakage, it's very time consuming, yeah. But here he have the all information. He can go directly with the one click to the specific place where it is, saving the time and also sharing the information. For example, it's fixed, and that's it. Yeah, we have the information, send it to the person who was responsible who announced the problem to the maintenance guys. And primarily, that's it. We can also manage, as you saw in the first page, the main menu. We can collect the many properties into the one account. It's very important also for such companies as yours, because we can manage a couple of buildings and couple of other things. And also some virtual tool as a virtual tool can be used for example, the marketing purposes. Yeah, if you have the hotels or something like that, you can send it the link to the client. You can add the information in the assets, for example, about the equipment of the room and the price levels, everything you want. And the customer can go inside the room and see what it looks like, what's the view outside the window and everything. and connect it to the NetX, for example, we can also showing the occupancy of the room, the availability with some particular term which is interested for the customer. If you have any questions, Jay, please ask.
For ABC Global team members and the Matterport service providers in listen-only mode, I heard 4 things. Michael, the first thing I heard was IoT for live data such as temperature, pressure, and alerts. That's awesome! I'm super excited about IoT meets real-time data within a Matterport 3D digital twin. The second was asset management. As you can imagine, ABC Global has so many assets worldwide. It's hard to keep track of everything. Those file cabinets are just driving me bazonkers. We're paying for physical storage when we should be digitizing documentation and tagging the location where the manual is needed. The third thing I saw was your timeline for tracking. We can use that for maintenance and scheduling service visits. Is history available too?
Yeah, the past history is also, it's only, you need to scroll it to the app, and there is also all the past history as well.
Okay, and the fourth thing I heard was the Simon Robust Task Ticketing System. That really resonated with me. Fast and efficient communication of problems to the appropriate person.
Exactly, yes, and also it's very, very nice for the, for example, language barriers, yeah, because in the hotel, for example, the housekeeper can only go and take the picture of the place where it is, automatically put it into our system, and we have the location of the exact, for example, bulb which is broken. Yeah, it's very easily also to use for the normal on the primary level staff of the hotel, for example.
Terrific. Regarding the ticketing system, does it have AR wayfinding built in so that a tech can quickly and easily locate the problem?
We have our partner, which is View AR. We can manage also the AR into our system, but we also have in our plans in some future to make this implementation of that feature inside our solution.
So you have a method to integrate AR, including wayfinding?
Yes, we have also some instructions and some other things which is related to fixing the problem, for example. And only one thing also to the assets. If you have many assets, you for sure also you are using the software for the asset management. And we also we have in the plan integration with IBM Maximo software. But if you have some other software for the asset management, we can also integrate, and we can import all the assets from the external system to our system. And only thing is to need to put it into the place, and that will be also, I think, very, very useful for you.
Can you confirm that everything Simon powered by SIMLAB is doing is fully integrated with the NetxAutomation software BMS system?
Yes, Michael, maybe I'll take this one, if you don't mind. Okay. Yes, Jay. So we part of NetX and SIMLAB, we are trying to solve different problems which the customer face today in enterprise size buildings like yours. Okay. So what you saw is the management level solution where SIMLAB is really bringing the digital twin to make life easy for people who are managing the building, okay, on a day-to-day basis. We address the problem which is on the other side of the spectrum as NetxAutomation by providing a solution to connect different application and devices which are there in the building. Okay, it might be old devices, and then during a renovation you bring your new devices. End of the day, there has to be a platform where the data is kind of concentrated or collected from all these devices, and then we as a data warehouse or as a data concentrator having the capability to talk to multiple protocols at the same time, we are collecting this data, organizing it in a way that when we send this to SIMLAB, to Michael, they're able to deal with it and create that final outcome which you have just seen. So whatever solution you have seen so far is flexible. For this example or the demo Michael did was with a food factory where you had certain set of equipments. But if it is any other building with a totally different set of equipments, the idea is to really have this integrated approach where we combine everything under one umbrella, first at a data warehouse level, and then the same data goes to SIMLAB, and then they create the virtual or digital twin to make the final layer of visualization for the end user like yours. Yeah, so it's an integrated solution using NetX as a BMS platform, and then having Simon as a visualization layer coming at the management level.
Awesome, Suvankar. Is the NetxAutomation BMS interoperable with the various protocols that ABC Global divisions use? KNX, OPC, BACnet, Modbus, and SNMP.
Yes, that's right, Jay. So one of the main feature, as I mentioned in my previous answer, is that NetX comes with multi-protocol capabilities. So over last 22 years, we kept adding all the traditional and upcoming technologies used in the building space so that we are able to provide maximum number of integration at a field level. Okay, when we are saying field level, it means that we are able to communicate directly with the devices which are installed in the building. And all these protocols you mentioned, KNX, BACnet, Modbus, OPC, these are all standard protocols developed by different standardization bodies. And we are also part of those standardization bodies. So we are also upgrading our software every year or whenever there is a new upgrade coming on the standards, which means if today you are using our software, it is always complying to the latest developments on any of these standards. Having said so, you may have a question that, okay, what about proprietary systems? Okay, maybe you're building ABC in your hotel buildings are using a particular type of equipment which may not work on these standards, okay? But they may have a certain written document which talks about the nature of the protocol they are using. So because we are a software company, we have the flexibility to understand this document and create a totally new integration for these devices, which means now those devices which maybe so far were isolated in the building, they were not part of the whole building ecosystem, can now be brought into the entire ecosystem, and then SIMLAB can manage it. And then you will see that not only KNX, BACnet, Modbus, OPC, but maybe a proprietary system also become part of the entire building system. They can exchange data between other systems, making it ideal scenario to create the most smartest building if we can think of for you. Yeah, so that's how it works around. Yeah.
Awesome. Michael, back to you. We started with Matterport because we thought it could do everything you're talking about, but it turns out we couldn't achieve that with the Matter tags. So I completely understand what you just showed us, how SIMLAB, through its Simon service, is transforming Matterport from a tool into a solution. That is so clear from your presentation, and I'm really excited about it. As I mentioned, we hired several Matterport service providers to scan some buildings in our portfolio for testing and learning. What we learned was that the tagging process within the Matterport platform didn't meet our needs. Now we have many Matterport tours with thousands of Matter tags. I know some people on our call today are probably thinking, oh my gosh, I have to redo all those tags in another platform. Is there a solution for that?
Yes, we have the solution because in our Simon solution, there is implemented the importing tool that you can import all the Matter tags and convert it into our assets. And you can obviously add some other information about that because we are taking only the information from the Matter tag. but it's not needed to put everything again and again to our solution from the Matterport.
So again, just to clarify, as a very large customer of Matterport, ABC Global doesn't have to start from scratch. The team members listening in on this call can think, great. There is a workaround, a workflow using Simon to import our existing Matterport tags, our existing Matter tags, into the Simon platform.
Exactly, yes. And also we can importing, if you will, maybe in the future also using our another tool, the stages tool, and you have the final stage and final scan with some nodes and some other stuff into the stages, we can also import it into our solution and convert it to the Simon and use it for the daily basis maintenance and using the building as well.
Okay, great. So on the Simon side, I heard 4 things, with the 5th coming from Suvankar: IoT, assets, timeline, ticketing system, and building management system, BMS. At a high level, are there other aspects we should discuss that fit into this overall structure? I think of these as layers. Yes, there's a layer for assets, a layer for timeline, and a layer for the ticketing system. All of these integrate into the BMS system. Are there additional layers within Simon?
We have also the normal dashboard as everybody have it, yeah. But we have one more thing, that we can also make some very simple automatic scenes. If we have, for example, the NetxAutomation server, but we can add it to it on some very cheap solution from the IoT area, we can also, for example, buy it 25 bucks motion sensor and also connect it to, for example, when you have the movement, turn on the light. It's very easy in our system, but it's mainly made in the NetxAutomation to have all the logic inside there. And if there is something more complicated, for example, which NetxAutomation is maintaining, for example, the HVAC, big ventilation sensor or something like that, we can also visualize the NetxAutomation visualization layer in our solution using the iframe. That means that we'll goes up the window into our solution, that we have the all very complicated and more technical stuff into our system. Yeah, some charts, maybe some diagrams with the temperatures, with the
Yes. Our team immediately understood what you showed us. We can annotate an asset with photos, video documents, PDFs, DOC documents, and Excel documents. Whatever the digital asset, we can annotate it. I want to get rid of all these file cabinets. It's costing us money, and it's hard to see that. It's clear we have more space than we need because we're storing all these documents. I'd prefer to move all of that to an annotated space. Michael, we have some assets that are on the move. They're not stationary. For example, in the hotel space, we need to track where our wheelchairs are. They get left everywhere. Do you have a way of tracking our moving assets?
We have it right now into development to have it the tracking of the and real-time asset into the space, and that will appear, I think, in some couple of months maybe, and that will be also available to tracking and see into the real time where the asset is into the space.
Michael, was there anything else in terms of moving assets that might relate back to ABC Global Company?
We can tracking everything we want, to be honest. It can be tracking the as you mentioned, the wheelchairs, but it also can be tracking some vehicles into the parking. Yeah, it can be tracking with some hotel spaces the movement of the staff as well, because that can be also the staff into the maybe checking how the housekeeping is going through the rooms. Yeah, it can be some IAD devices into the hotels, because there is mandatory in some states, as I know, also such kind of devices.
Just to emphasize this point for my team members listening in, why use a Matterport 3D digital twin as the container for visualizing IoT, assets, timeline, ticketing, and BMS, rather than a traditional 2D dashboard within the BMS?
Because in our opinion, it's very intuitive for the user. Yeah, if we have the same space of the what you see in our system, the same what you are seeing in the real life. Yeah, for example, if we have or you have Jay, the guest into your room. Yeah, you're going some foreigner into the room and they want to turn on the light. In the normal dashboard, then can be some name of the lamp, but the name can be everything. Yeah, the main lamp, side lamp, but they want to turn on this particular lamp. In our system, they are clicking to this lamp, turning on, and the lamp is on. It's the first thing. The second thing, it's the easiest, yeah, of the usage. The second thing is the fast way where the asset or the device and everything we want to tag it is inside the space into the digital twin. Is the another thing that if we want to find, for example, I don't know, into some basement, the pump number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, normally somebody need to take some documentation, find it, check it, where is the location, go to this location, and also localize the particular pump, for example. It's taking the time. Here we have one click, and we are going exactly to the place where it is. It's saving your time. It's very important in that case. Also, in our opinion, as I told you, the 3D space giving in the future as well some other possibilities, like, for example, the artificial intelligence. If you want, if you have, for example, the big area and you have the lamps, normally you need to count it, how many lamps you have here and in this space, and another space. And using the artificial intelligence, we can very easily click on the lamp and only putting one button, counted every lamp in the scan, we have the same dimension and the same type of the lamp. And you will have the report that you have, for example, 345 lamps like that. Yeah. Then you can check another thing, another. And also the artificial intelligence, which we are planning to implement, it's the automatically tagging the equipment you have, for example, the TV sets, some kettles, the carpets, everything that will be automatically adding the asset with the type of the equipment and asset you have in the property.
Michael, ABC Global plans to change the lighting in many of our buildings. Typically, we would ask our facilities managers to go through their building and count the lighting fixtures. If I'm hearing you correctly, with the coming AI, we will be able to ask Simon, how many of these do I have in my 500,000 square feet building?
Exactly correct.
That's the kind of example I'm looking for on how we can save money, save time, and improve our workflows. We're constantly counting things manually. In every one of our properties, we need to know things such as how many fire extinguishers do we have in the building? Suvankar, many ABC Global facility managers are comfortable using BMS using a 2D dashboard. In addition to the Matterport 3D digital twin dashboard, can the BMS still be viewed with a 2D dashboard?
Yes, absolutely. I think one of the key feature of the combined solution of NetX and SIMLAB is a hybrid visualization model. Okay, so as you already saw in the demo, that the digital twin is making us familiar with the equipments and controls that are there, probably more at a visual level. Okay, but still, as Michael also mentioned in one of his answer to a question, that we may need more visible data about a particular equipment. Imagine you have like exactly the same example. You have 500 square feet, 500,000 square feet of area with thousands of light fixture, and maybe the maintenance team wants to have a single view on a single page to see that how many lights are faulty in that entire space. Okay, so maybe in this case we are talking about a hybrid visualization where you walk through the space, you have more individual view to the equipments, but as a maintenance person, I need a single page to see. So now this is where 2D visualization will come in. And Michael also mentioned that we have a seamless integration of the 2D visualization we create on the NetX platform can be integrated in the SIMLAB platform, which means as an end user, you don't have to switch platforms. You are still in the same page, but yes, now you have an extended view of the floor or the area, and you have on one page all the lights with maybe some red dots, which says that these are actually the faulty light fixtures. Okay, so yes, this is very much possible. You have a hybrid possibility, and in many cases also, I think it's an important point is that our combined solution is addressing different type of users. Even within your building, we will see many different type of users. Okay, we may have end user, like people who are probably working in an office area, the end users. Their level of involvement with the systems will be very minimal. On the other hand, you will have people who are like facility manager, the technical managers who are having the responsibility, I'll say even the bigger responsibility of running the building smoothly. So they may need a lot of detailed data where you may really have to use a 2D because it makes more sense, because they have on one page with a lot of numbers, alarm status and everything, which they are more familiar to deal with. So yes, you can have a hybrid model, you can have two separate systems, and you can keep backups. All the possibilities are there in the whole ecosystem of NetX and SIMLAB. Yeah.
Is the page you're describing showing up within the Matterport 3D digital twin, or is it showing up within the NetxAutomation dashboard as a list?
You can have it both. You can have it parallelly on a separate NetX dashboard. And as Michael said, that we can integrate this web visualization pages into the SIMLAB digital twin platform also, which means if someone is already on the digital twin platform, he doesn't have to switch his platform. He can continue to explore those pages which are already integrated into the digital twin platform.
When we implement Simon powered by SIMLAB plus NetxAutomation, we might face some pushback from decision makers who prefer the 2D dashboard over the Matterport 3D digital twin. And that's okay, since facilities managers still have the option for a 2D dashboard for the building management system. However, for those using China markers within our HVAC units, it's not ideal to have that knowledge solely with our facility managers. As they retire or move on, we risk losing the history of how the last chiller or boiler was repaired or maintained. We need to start annotating the space with maintenance schedules to ensure continuity. Suvankar, you've heard me say that I am focused on saving money, saving time, and improving workflows to get answers faster. Other ways that NetxAutomation can help ABC Global?
Yes, I think there are some, apart from this, there are some other key benefits, of course. So I think in today's world, preemptive maintenance, okay, is one of the key feature that you are not reactive, but you're proactive. And all the intelligence that we are putting in, I think one of the key area we want to address is that how we make people managing building or even end users make more proactive to possible situations that are coming up. Okay, I'll tell you a very common example which we come across with many clients we deal with. Changing the defective or faulty lamps. Okay, it's a very simple example for everyone to understand. So our system can predict a possible failure, which means it has multiple advantages. So not only you are changing all the possible failures which are going to happen in next 2 weeks in one go without really disturbing people. So if you know that, okay, I'm going to have 200 lamps failing in next 2 weeks, I send one maintenance guy over the weekend to change all of them. Okay, so then you know that, yes, I'm kind of taken care of for 2 months, nothing has to be done. This is one advantage, that you are not disturbing the occupants in the building. The person who goes, he has he doesn't have to go more frequently. He's doing the job in one go. In addition, it has tremendous benefit on companies like yours, where you must be maintaining a lot of inventory for replacement. Okay, so if you know that you have 50 buildings where you need to replace maybe 5,000 lamps in next 2 months, you are going to negotiate with the vendor who is going to supply you that, and maybe you will get 20% additional discount. And this is just lamp. Imagine if we are talking about other equipments which also can be monitored, the saving can be huge.
Yes. Our biggest money and time savings will be by reducing travel. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
if you have specialized assets in different location in US, and it's a big country, and if you have maybe one expert who knows that machine very well, so if he has pre-information about such failures, you actually can make a very effective logistical flow of this person carrying equipments, manage it. It's huge benefit for everyone. So I think this is one area. Another area is, of course, energy saving, which we broadly talked about, but we are not only talking about saving energy blindly without with compromising on comfort or convenience.
Matterport announced May 15th that it was aiding enterprise companies like ABC Global in reducing carbon emissions by simplifying the calculation of carbon emission savings. Matterport emphasized that their digital twins help companies like ours reduce business travel. This cuts down on greenhouse gas emissions. Regarding time savings, Suvankar, do you have clients who report significant time savings, allowing their teams to focus on more strategic tasks?
Absolutely, yes. We see it in a big way in hospitality buildings like hotels. So we are dealing with hotels with 500 plus rooms. And the biggest challenge the housekeeping department has is that in the morning, how do they distribute their cleaning resources across the entire building? So we are generating smart reports, for example, which tells them that, okay, what is the number of rooms to be cleaned in each zone, area, floor, whatever, and if there are special services to be catered to. And based on those reports, which are just generated by a single click, available with the manager who is kind of allocating the housekeeping resources, they're really focusing or prioritizing how the entire workforce should manage that activity. Okay, so this is not only, of course, making them efficient, but you can imagine that it is leading to higher guest satisfaction, because maybe they have the optimum time in cleaning a particular room. It is making the staff more informed. Okay, they know that, okay, they have to clean 100 rooms next 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. So I think this is a crucial factor in hospitality buildings, but also other buildings wherever there are workforce who needs to be assigned for a particular task. And if we can give them such information before they start it, it leads to job satisfaction. The person is more happy, well informed, and of course the organization is benefited because the workforce is more efficient. They're saving time, doing things faster. Yeah.
I kind of wonder, what are our next steps? We're talking about a lot of conversations going on here. We have Matterport. We're engaging Matterport service providers. We're engaging Simon by SIMLAB. We're engaging NetxAutomation software. And we have all our system integrators. For an enterprise company like ours, what's the best way to buy your solutions?
Okay, I think it's a great question. Michael, would you like to take that, or maybe I can say a few words and please add from your perspective, how do you see it? Okay, I think one of the main aspect we have to address together is to identify the real need of the customer. So a good conversation like we are having now in part of this meeting is that we are trying to understand the pain point of our end users. Okay, I think the whole bottom-up approach has to be in understanding what are your pain points today. Then we also have to consider factors like how is going to be your interaction with the building for next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, because we are making buildings for next 20, 30 years. So maybe the habits we have today may not be the same in next 5 years. So we also have to factor in those aspects that, okay, now they are managing the building in this way, but yes, maybe 5 years down the line, it will be different.
I understand that, and we'll do a needs assessment. We'll put our team together with your team and figure out what exactly needs to be done in this particular building and how things are currently being managed. That said, I have money to spend. How do I spend it? Who do I talk to? Do I buy everything I need from SIMLAB? Do I buy everything I need from Matterport? Do I buy everything I need from NetxAutomation software? Do I go to our system integrators? Do I go back to our consultants? Where do I wire the funds?
Okay, I think you have to give your requirements to the consultant. The consultant will derive a specification. Based on the specification, the system integrators will come in. They will read the specification, they will discuss with you, and then they will define the list of hardware and software which they need to meet those specification. Okay, and when those hardware and softwares are identified, they will purchase it from different vendors, because you can imagine in a building like you own, there will be at least maybe in a building, there will be 500 different vendors whose products has to be there. Okay, so this is the job of the integrator. They manage multiple vendors, they handle the entire warranty, commercials with them, and then they procure these devices, or maybe there is an electrical contractor who is doing part of the procurement and they are giving it as a sub vendor to the integrator to combine those equipment.
I totally get that. We're doing that now on many levels within our enterprise. I'm just curious about SIMLAB and NetxAutomation. Are these two separate entities for your services, or do I just engage with SIMLAB and have SIMLAB integrate everything? I'd prefer to have fewer vendors. Is it possible that I can place my order with SIMLAB and SIMLAB acts as a reseller for NetxAutomation software? Or is it perhaps the other way around?
We can do it in both ways, because we are working very closely. We want to reduce the point of contacts for you. So if you are the end user, you can place the order with the system integrator. So we are working in a very close cooperation to make sure that the integrators of NetxAutomation is also well trained to implement a SIMLAB solution, and vice versa. So depending on who is having a first point of contact in the project, the customer just has one point of contact for both NetX and SIMLAB. Michael, would you like to add to that?
We are offering the common solution, the NetX
Exactly.
and
Yes.
SIMLAB with both ways, as Suvankar said. And we have the partnership. That means that everything, if the NetxAutomation goes to their customer, they are also offering our visualization layer. And in the opposite way, if we are going to the customer who needs the building automation system, we are proposing the NetxAutomation system.
Absolutely.
That sounds great. I know Dan has asked for his show back. So I'm going to say bye. Nice visiting with you, Michael and Suvankar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay.
And yes, Jay, thank you for talking with Michael and with Suvankar. That was awesome. You can get more information on SIMLAB at simlab.com. If you're interested in Simon in particular, the website is sim-on.com. You can also go to netxautomation.com. And there is also a deck available from Simon. Go to wgan.info/Simon deck. That's without a hyphen in this particular use case, SIMONDECK. In addition, we've done a number of shows with SimLab. You can see those shows on those WGAN-TV podcasts, wgan.info/SimLab on WGAN. And lastly, before we say goodnight, I just want to point out for the Matterport service providers that are listening, it doesn't have to be an enterprise size client. SimLab is happy to do a home, a condo. I mean, it's literally at that level. And I won't say that about NetxAutomation, but it doesn't have to be a ginormous enterprise. Really, as a Matterport service provider, there's an opportunity for you to get more scanning business so that when you come into a commercial space and you scan it, to think about the solutions that we've heard about today, to be able to do some suggestive selling, because that suggestive selling where you turn your Matterport tours into digital twin solutions through all the different things that we talked about today, that's going to trigger some conversations about, oh, we have sister buildings, we have sister properties, we need to have a refresh. If we're going to do this, we need to refresh our Matterport tours. So it's an opportunity to get more scanning business simply by taking what you've heard today and suggesting to clients or asking clients, do you have a need for asset tracking? Do you have a need for live data of IoT in your mechanical, electrical, plumbing space, your MEP space, or throughout the entire property for that matter? So Michael mentioned at the top of the show that there are 3 different Simon demonstrations on that page, sim-on.com. Go take a look, a deep dive, and see how what I think of tags is on steroids, is that what Simon, powered by SimLab, has done with this tagging solution, that it's like it's hard to even say it in the same sentence, the difference between a Matterport Matter tag and a SimLab tag in a Matterport tour. It's like this is all the future today. Live data with IoT devices today. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Dan, for inviting us and giving us this opportunity to speak about the future of building. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We've been visiting with SimLab Simon product owner and project manager, Michał Szopa, and NetxAutomation software sales and business development in the Asia Pacific region, Suvankar Das. For Suvankar in India, Michael in Poland, Dan in the US, I'm Dan Smigrod, founder of the We Get Around Network Forum, and you've been watching WGAN-TV live at 5.